Hello, everyone. Welcome to TerraFirmaGreg. I've been playing this with some of my friends lately and on my own, and I honestly wanted to start getting. I wanted to start getting to content creation, and one of the main reasons I've wanted to do that is because I want to get better at speaking more coherently, and connecting my thoughts one to another. So this is TerraFirmaGreg. It's a max mix-up between TerraFirmaCraft and GregTech. Right now I'm doing a voiceover, but my goal for this Let's Play is to minimize those, just because it's best practice when I can't redo my voice recordings like I have done here for several of the voice recordings within this episode. So this first part here, I'm just going to gather some stones and then knap them together to get some initial tools. And then my recording stops because I'm new at this. It doesn't pick back up until much later, but not too far in the future. Uh, so yeah, any criticisms would be appreciated. I'm just still getting used to this and trying to improve. My video quality will improve. My microphone quality will improve. I've already been tinkering around with some of these settings, but I just wanted to start this out. So yeah, I'm really excited for this, and I hope you guys stick around for this. I probably should have marked spawn, and it's close enough. So yeah, I'm gonna go gather some resources, and I'll cut back in a second. So I realized my keybinds were off for recording, and I've actually done quite a bit. What day is it? June 3rd. I think it's day 3. Um, Basically started over there, came over here, chopped down some trees, got some sticks, got some initial tools. Came over here, found some copper that we're about to go mine. It's uh, pottery here, including casting our first tools, the saw, axe, and pickaxe. And a charcoal pit going, and yeah, that's basically what we've done so far. Honestly, it kind of sucks that that my recording wasn't going, just because I was explaining like every single step, like, oh, this is what napping is, clay napping. Here's how you can chop down trees more easily. Here's all these little tips and tricks I picked up from watching other people play TerraFirmaCraft and from me playing TerraFirmaCraft over the years. But that's in the past. So I'll show some of the things off as they come up. But for now, the next step is to go mining. They're waiting on that charcoal to be finished, and there's not much more for me to do. So I don't have a prospecting pick, but I found ore deposits kind of centered around this area, and I think it should be fine. It's a copper tetrahedrite vein, and I guess one of the things I talked about is how ore generation works, which I can briefly go over again. Ores generate in big veins and not spread out throughout the world, and they only generate in certain rock types. So for here on Earth, because there's other planets, this is the vein that I found. It only generates in these rock types, but conglomerate is not one of those rock types. So what that tells me is that beneath the conglomerate here, there's another layer of rock that the ore is generated in. And I forgot to grab my maps. Crap. It's unfortunate. And so I'm just gonna have to dig past this rock layer to go find the ore. So that's one of the things I was teaching about. So anyways, I'm gonna dig down until I find it. So I spent maybe like 20 minutes down here mining, and I just wanted to show you guys the final result here, because my first time around my recording didn't happen. But overall, I was able to mine out a pretty large chunk of area and get quite a bit of resources. So this is just me showing you guys around what I was able to get out of this. So I got a whole bunch of ore here, which I'm gonna smelt down or some ingot molds and some other clay molds, but I'm gonna wait first because I need to find a stone anvil. Um, and stone anvils have to be the igneous rock here, which are these kind of rocks in the quest inventory. The unfortunate thing that is the first and second layer down here don't count, and they aren't the right rock type. So I made a canoe so that I can travel and see the sights. We'll see if I enjoy it. I've never actually used. Uh, yeah, I've never actually used a canoe before, but this is a time of experimentation for me. Get kind of wild in my youth, you know. So, got my food, seeds. I'm gonna pick up paddle. Anything else I don't really need. Don't really need this. I can just set off now. And away we go. Spotted something very nice. Some jute here, which we need for leads. Although I think you can use some other things such as flax. Very nice. You know, as nice as it is, limestone. Okay, that's flux, but I don't think that's hard. No, so we have to keep searching. So, after just a tiny bit of journeying, I found some granite, which is one of the correct rock types. I end up grabbing only 2 pieces here, just because I need some in the future, like for the handstone and for the corn, but I didn't want to bother mining out here when I could potentially do it later when mining out in a mine. Also, while I'm here, I grabbed some of this marble here for flux because you need that in order to weld ingots together. So yeah, I'll meet you guys back at the base. So while this clip plays of me struggling to put away my canoe, I wanted to share a few of the ideas that I had for this series, or at least my intentions with it. I've played TerraFirmaGreg once before in the 0.7 version of this pack, before the Beneath and before all the create changes to make it create, and I quite enjoyed it. Although I only got to MV to making aluminum, and then I stopped there. So at the very least, I'm planning to go all the way to the LV tier in Greg Tech here, and beyond that, no promises. I'm just not that good at Greg Tech. Since that playthrough in the 0.7 version, well, this one's in the 0.9, I did play some of the Greg Tech community pack, so I just have a better idea of how the item pipes work and just how the systems work. And so I now know a lot better about how fluid pipes and how all the different systems in Greg Tech work. But yeah, that's my intentions for this series at least. So now I'm about to smelt the ores, and I just wanted to add in one more item since I had the space. I'm going to add in the spindle. I currently don't have any plants for it, but I know I have the space, and all the rest of the things I would want to put in there doesn't quite fit. Here I am just checking my recording again because, it's kind of hard to tell a cohesive story when your recording keeps when it doesn't work properly. I had issues with pausing and unpausing, and so here I'm just checking out what I can do with straw napping, because I have not looked at this before, and the straw basket looks very intriguing. I should really take a look at it, because from the tooltip it looks like it's useful. So part of the reason why I wanted to wait here to start the kiln until the charcoal was done is because keeping all the molten copper hot is quite the challenge, and I don't want to wait 8 minutes between being able to re-pour out some of the ingots. So my plan here is to start this up, and then once it's done, put the pots within a charcoal forge so that I can keep them warm. So here I am starting it, and then we'll cut back in a few minutes from now while I'm getting this stuff prepared. Just cleared out a little area. And now we're going to do some. Oh shoot, I don't have. So I'm in a little bit of a time crunch here. The fire's gonna be done in like 2 minutes, and so I need to make this charcoal pit. Although hopefully not having hopefully dirt around the forge is good enough. Um, Otherwise, it might be a little bit screwed. So let's just get this anvil set up so I can clean out my inventory a little bit. So let's light up this forge and see if it works. I just need to get some sticks in order. Here, I got my fire starter. And it does not work. Okay. Well, need to go get some solid blocks. Yeah, let's take this out and go find some solid blocks. Should get some cobble. There's some cobble around here or something? Okay, yeah, over here. Let's go. I'll go grab some of that and get back to the area. Okay, that is unfortunate timing. Four, 5, 6, 7. Start this up. Charcoal in here. Get this. So get these. We want to keep these hot so we can put them here in the fire. Okay. Okay, time pressure is off now, for the most part, because heating these back up takes so much effort. So you just put this here as a safety precaution, because anything that's in here that melts will go into these things first. Okay, so let's get these things filled up. Let's start casting out this copper. You want to reduce how many hot things you have in your inventory as much as possible, because it'll wear out. If you don't do that, your palms will wear out so fast. Excellent. I've just put these on the ground since they're cooling. But they're empty now, and we got a total of 19 ingots and almost 20, which is more than enough for. In order to make a copper anvil, what we need is these double ingots, which you need to do by welding copper together and anvil. And this stone anvil, the only thing it can do is weld copper together. You can't work copper tools on it. You can't make copper tools. You need the copper anvil to do that. So here we're heating up these ingots until they get to a temperature in which we can actually weld. And that's near the very far side of the progress bar. Once the bar reaches the edge, it'll melt and we'll get sent into these containers here, which is something we don't want. So once these are heated up sufficiently, so now we can work them into metal tools. But that's not hot enough for our purposes. We need to weld it. So now they can weld. Just take this, go here, weld it, and finally enough, you don't have to worry about the temperature at all with putting these things into the chest. Bit unrealistic, but it's Minecraft. I am overheating and thirsty, so just sit in the water for a second. Temperature in this area is actually pretty good. I'm kind of surprised because I spawned just over there. So really, usually you spawn somewhere that's like 20 degrees, like it's like 2 degrees C. You have to travel southwards. But I don't know, it's interesting, this spawn. I've never had it like this before. But I'm gonna keep welding these until I have 7 so I can make this anvil. Boom. You have to wait for them to cool down. Anvil. Excellent. Transfer this stuff over. Now, let's see. Cover. So 18. This is the thing I wish. I don't know if there's a better way of doing this. Shaders. I should do shaders. But we're going to do some math here. So plus 18. So we need to get below this number of 18. So this is at 78. So we need to get down to 60. So 60 is 2 orange, 2 red, green. Now shrink. Perfect. Perfectly flushed. This one here. What do I want to do next? Okay, chisel. Sure, let's do a chisel. Shrink, draw. So that's 6. It's 21. And it's at 45, 6, 47. 47 plus 21. 47 plus 21 is 67, 68. 8. Which is 1 orange. And then a whole bunch of reds. You just, so, and what's that? What other things do I have to craft? Eventually, we'll get some tongs. But to that later. I do want chisel. Oh, prospect and pick is actually. Might as well heat this one up too. Because we'll make some nice tools. So one is going to be a prospecting pick, one's going to be a chisel, and the other one is going to be a proper tools. What do we have here? Maybe a shovel. So I decided to use all 3 of my ingots of copper and make them into tools. So I settled upon the chisel, the shovel, and the prospecting pick. But man, for some reason I was just struggling hardcore. I just could not count. I should really be sent back to like 1st grade. Because seriously, in working the chisel here, I probably restarted like. By restart, I mean I melted down the copper because I worked it so much. I wanted a perfectly forged tool. I did that at least like twice and was going past the marker like crazy. It's like a stormtrooper missing all the shots. So I'm just gonna kind of breeze past all the metalworking I did here because it took me an embarrassing length of time. You can see here that I lost 2 different ingots and things are catching fire. Things were bad, but in the end I got the tools. Okay, we're back now. We have our tools. This was a lot easier. This I don't want to talk about. But we now have our tools. So let's pull this stuff down. Start making. This chisel and 1, 2, 3. There's one I'm missing. And the prospector pick. Excellent. So now we have a full assortment of copper tools, which means we can mine more copper and then we can move on to the bismuth, to the Bronze Age. But I think that is enough for this first episode. If you guys have enjoyed it, I think it's definitely helped me become better at speaking. Talking to myself, to my camera. And I hope you guys have enjoyed this and that maybe perhaps I've showed you something good. But I will see you guys in the next episode. Bye bye.